Hello everybody, how's it going? I hope you're all doing very well indeed. This is myself, Matt the Tomato. Welcome back to our Transport Fever here. This is episode... oh lord. Episode 5. That's what this is. I had to just double check there. Episode 5 of our French playthrough here, where we're playing French-themed playthrough here. So we've got French towns, and with a bit of luck, depending on the assessment that we're going to do with some new trains that have just been released, we might have some French trains as well. So... let's look at the depot. So we've got the new SNCF, which is the TER, so they're the local ones. And they have a capacity of 58, but more importantly, they are twice as fast as our current trains that we have on our route here. And I feel like maybe that even though the capacity is a little bit less than what we've currently got, because they're fast, they might be okay to run along these routes. I don't know. I think they would be, to be honest. So I think what we'll do is we will buy one and we'll see how it goes. So I'll buy one for this this route over here on the east, because this is the train that's arriving here. Because this train is going quite slow here, 60 mile an hour. So if the other one, because the SNCF one, the TER, is pretty light, I feel like it will accelerate a lot quicker. And it might just move between these areas a lot faster. And as such, because it does that, the number of passengers might not build up so much. So I'm going to give it a shot here. And see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this train dump all the passengers off. And then I'm just going to send it back to the depot and sell it. So wait until they've all left. Send it back to the depot and sell. So there'll be a drop in numbers on that route temporarily, but I'm hoping that it will be a fast enough train to shuttle between this area, because that's not that far, that it will be sufficient for a while. Worst come to worst, we can run 2 of them. That's not a problem. So the number of passengers is going to drop here because obviously there's no train. But yeah, we'll sell that. We'll get this this other one, and we'll see what happens. Right. So buy trains. So let's pause here for a second. So the annoying thing that I think, is it the DC one? Might not be the DC one, but the annoying thing is you can't join these together. So if I buy one, I can't then attach another one to the back. That's not possible. I think it might be with this one. I'm not sure. That's the only thing that is an issue with this, is you can't attach them together. So you'd have to run 2 of them at the same time. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to sell that straight back for the same amount of money. Because I didn't change it to be the correct configuration. I didn't make it green. Right, okay, so purchase. And run that train on the Trevo to Abos route. Right, and it has to wait for a free path here, which is a little bit annoying, because we have to wait for this one to come all the way down here. That's a bit annoying, actually. That is a little bit frustrating. This train looks cool, though. So if you've ever been to France, look at the wonderful. It's got SNCF, TER all over it. It's a lovely little train, that. And they're really comfortable, actually, as well. They're like used for local routes, really, but they're really comfortable. They're really nice trains. I like them. And yeah, let's see whether it can handle the route or not. So initially, there's lots of people waiting here, but I'm hoping that the train is going to be fast enough that it's not going to matter, and it's going to be able to just shuttle people back really, really quickly. Hope so, anyway. I think we also the other thing that we could do, worst come the worst, is run a TGV between those 2. But I think that's a bit too short to be able to do that. So let's see how it does here. So it's going to be a full train. But what I'm interested in is, yeah, so look how quickly it speeds up here. Obviously it has to take that bend. But yeah, it's going to be able to go a lot faster. Especially once it gets onto the straight bit here. So remember, 70 mile an hour was the limit. 75 mile an hour was the limit for the other train. So, yeah, it's going to be able to speed up. Yeah, so it's able to go that little bit quicker. Not much quicker, mind you. Because by the time it actually gets to a decent speed, it actually We'll lose a bit of... Yeah, that's the only thing. So we may need another one here. That wouldn't be the end of the world if we had to run 2 trains. Wouldn't be the end of the world. It's the only annoying thing about this this little unit is, yeah, you can't add more than 1 to it. I can't remember if that's what I've only ever used this first one though. I've never actually used the second one, so I don't know whether this means that you can add extras to it or not. I'm not sure. I don't think you can though. But yeah, it's able to go above 80 mile an hour, so it's a little bit quicker. Not much though, because it's quite a short route. I suppose on this one it'll be a bit skimmy because this is a longer route. But yeah, there's currently 64 people waiting there. Yeah, so it may actually be able to catch back up. We'll see. We'll see whether it can actually keep up here. Obviously, the number of passengers is going to go up as well, though. That's the other thing to bear in mind. Yeah, it might actually be able to keep up at some point. I don't know. Right, buses, yeah, are struggling around here. Even with 2 of them, it's still proving a challenge. So this one is full. And it only dumped half of the passengers. So there's still 6 people waiting here. And so by the time it gets to here, yikes. Might need another bus. Wowzer. Abons is, wow, very, very, very busy. Yeah, the extra speed is quite helpful. There's so many people here. 60. But then, yeah, the trams. I think the trams are just about keeping up at the moment. But I think a 3rd tram is going to be needed. I think a 3rd tram is going to be needed regardless. They are pretty good. They are fairly profitable, these 2. The fuel production is still making money as well, which is really good. It's just dropped off a pile of people. Okay, yeah. I like the trams, actually. I don't use them much, but I really should, because they are good. The extra capacity, and they're a little bit cheaper to run as well. Okay, so full train as expected. Yes, it's just about able to keep up at the moment. Only just. But I think in the future, as we add more passenger routes, that's going to become impossible. Speaking of adding passenger routes, I think we might want to draw some of this track out here, because Trevoux is now starting to expand into this area. So we need 1, 2, 3 tracks to come out of here. Okay. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's going to be... Well, it doesn't actually have to be all that tight, because I might go down here and then run it across there, because that's a big hill. So I might do a double bridge that comes over here. So these 2 tracks here, I might drop in somewhere like this. And do that, and make a double bridge that comes across there. And of course, one of them is then going to drop down towards Digne-les-Bains, and the other one's going to go to Moissac. This is a longer route here between Digne-les-Bains and Chateau-Thierry, so this is probably going to be the TGV route. That's the one I'm going to use for the TGV. I think that's a given. And then, right, so we're already using that platform, so it's this 3rd one in the middle that currently doesn't have any use. So let's drag this one out here like that. And this one will end up going down to Donge. Right, I'll just go to there for now. That's okay. I'll curve it round. I wanted to avoid that hill, so I think I'm going to try and cut it through there. I think that's where I'm going to try and cut that through. So I'll curve it around here, go through there, and then try and drop it down. So there and along there, maybe. Yeah, might be a little bit twisty, which is not great, but we'll see. Okay. So I'll do that for now. I might expand a route. In fact, I might do this local route here over to Mwasak. I might get that going. That might be a thing. But I want to save up about 18 million first, because I want to just double check that you can't join up these two. Yeah, so actually, we didn't pick up as many people there. I think this little train is actually, because of the extra bit of speed that it has, is able to just about keep up with the demand currently. Yes, there's a lot of people there. Yeah, the Bompass one is a bit different, but then it will be able to get up to speed a little bit more as it goes up here, because it's a longer route. So, don't know whether to go with one of those, or do I could just go with the TGV, but it'd be very expensive. Even one of the small ones is like 28 million. This one here. Yeah, 28 million, capacity of 72. But would it be able to get... I mean, it's got very good acceleration, but would it be much faster than this? Not sure. Not convinced. Not on such a short stretch of track, anyway. We're certainly making a kill in here. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, the Bompass. Bloody hell, there's 86... Right, so what we could do, actually, is rather than waiting any further for 18 million, we'll drop that in here, we'll turn this train around and we'll sell it. Because either way, we'll sell that, that'll make the money back, and we can have a look at that point. Because either way, we're gonna introduce a new train onto this route anyway. And yeah, these trams so far just about able to keep up, but then of course another pile of people has just been dropped here, so... yeah, they're doing okay actually, to be fair. These trams are doing fairly okay. Right, so, that train has now been sold. Excellent. So... yeah, see there's two individual ones there. But if I were to do this, and then attach this one, no, you can't do that either. And then, obviously, if I did that, you can't do that either. Now, the question is, though, can I attach coaches? I can. That looks weird as hell. But I can, in fact, attach coaches to the back of this. But it's whether it has the ability to pull that or not. I'll tell you what, we're going to give it a trial. Let's purchase this one here. And then I'm going to chuck a coach on the back. That can do 124 mile an hour, the same as the train. So as weird as that looks, we might just try that. It's an extra 22 capacity at the end of the day, so it might just be a little bit better. So we had a train that had 63 capacity. It now has 80. How weird does this look? God, that looks so weird. That looks so weird. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. It looks so stupid, but it's very functional. And it does work. It's going to be able to pick up most of these people here. And I'd like to see whether it can get up to speed. Is it able to pull that extra coach? I mean, passenger cars aren't that heavy anyway, but... by having that extra capacity, I wonder whether that's actually going to be half decent here. I don't know. I just want to see if it gets up to speed up on this straight here. Oh, that's a tight bend as well, isn't it? That's the other thing there. That is not great, is it? Might be better if I try and make that faster. I should make that faster, shouldn't I? Right, we'll hit a pause here because naturally this is going to wreck the line here. Yeah, it's going to complain. 70. That's okay. Right. So now it's repaired the line. And put a point in there. Right, that's better. So at least it can do 70 mile an hour instead of 29. So that's a lot better. Oh, I was actually supposed to follow that train, wasn't I? Yeah. Not great, actually. Because it's such a short section of track. Because of that extra weight, it really doesn't make that much difference, does it? 1760, yeah. In power against 140. It's not that much better. Really isn't. I think we'd be better going with something like this. It's got a bit more power to it, but also it has some stuff built in. I think we'd be better upgrading these two to the double-decker. And these little TER here, certainly this one here, I think we'll run that on the little local route out to Moissac. And then we'll run 2 of them between Trévoux and Donge. So I think we'll keep these trains. We will keep these trains. We'll just reassign them to other routes, and we'll purchase the double-decker for these 2. Because the double-decker... See, this is the thing, right? The double-decker can only do 81 miles an hour. These things can go up to 124. But because the track is so short, it doesn't matter. It can never get to that speed. So it's an absolute waste having a train that can go 100 odd miles an hour when it can only get up to 80. It's a complete waste. So I think we are going to indeed... we'll keep the little TERs, but we're going to change them around and we're going to move them to other routes. So I'm going to open up a new route over here to Moissac over here. So I'm going to drag this one around here. And there's the new French buses. They're available. Fantastic. I think we will invest in those buses fairly soon. So we'll make those changes where we can. Right. So going up to 186 miles an hour is actually fairly relevant on this particular route. And the reason for that is because we will be using the TER. And it can do 124 miles an hour. And where this is going to be a bit longer, I think it's actually going to have an advantage that it will be able to work successfully on this route. Right, the disadvantage, of course, of doing this is we're going straight through the hills here. Right, so I'm going to build the station here. So let's go with an end. We could probably get away with 160, actually, because we're not going to... I think we could get away with this here. Because we're only going to run the TER. And I think if we were to upgrade this particular piece of track, I think we would just run 2 little TERs in and around down here. I think that's what we'll do. So I don't need a big station over here. And again, I forgot to make this high speed. Not that it matters too much, really, in terms of the station. But it is, you know, still fairly important. Okay, right. So I'm going to pause here. Because I want to establish the route, and then I'm going to run this train. Once this arrives here, I'm going to change it. Because this train will arrive on the very same platform as the route to Moissac. So, if we go with the green here. So this is Trévoux, Moissac. So we start at Trévoux to Moissac. There we go. Quite easy. And so what we will do is this train that is about to arrive, we will switch the lines. Now, There we go. And that can just carry on going down there. Excellent. So that will now switch to that route. And we have enough money. So I'm going to buy a train. So that we can add double-decker cars to this as well. That's the other benefit to this. So I'll make it green. I will purchase this train. It has a capacity of 99. And we will drop that into Trévoux-Aybens. And we'll drop that into here. So that should be sufficient for that route for a very long time. Because it's got a bigger capacity. And, well, it's got a little bit more speed about it. But also it's got a bit more power. So I think it will get up to speed a little bit faster. So yeah, it's already doing 50 miles an hour. It's just come out of here. So it will get up to speed a little bit quicker. We're going to pick up all these people. And the hope is that we will continue running this train here. Oh, we also could do with installing some points here. Because otherwise the... or some signals, rather. Yeah, some path signals, yeah. So we can have a train wait here rather than... So if there was a train in the station, right, and the train at Moissac was ready to leave, it won't be able to go anywhere. It will have to stay in Moissac and wait. So by putting a path signal over here... there, for example, if there was a train waiting in the station, the train from Moissac could still come across and would still be able to make it all the way to here before it would have to wait. So at least it can move then. And we'll do the same here as well. So I'll stick a point there. I call them points, but they're signals. I don't know why I call them points. So the same thing will apply for the train that comes along here as well. That's the only reason we have to do that is because these two trains are sharing that platform. I think for the rest of the trains, we're not going to need to do that. But that's the only reason why we need to do that there. So at the moment, there's nobody using this, of course. But as the passenger traffic generates, that will change. And our double-decker here is actually coming along at 81 miles an hour. So he got up to speed pretty good there. So there is actually a little bit more speed about this train because it has a lot more power. So it can accelerate a lot better down this track. And we'll want a double-decker on the other one as well. So this TER here, I think we're probably going to... I don't know. We may end up selling it, or we will just change the route and run it down to Donge. I think that's what we'll do. But before we do that, we obviously need to build the track, and we also need to save up another 13 million to be able to afford another one of the double-decker trains to immediately replace the Trévoux-Bompas one. I will also scrap the carriage that's on the back of it here. I will also get rid of that. I don't think we're going to need that for this route coming down here because I think that's going to be okay. Again, worst come to worst, we can run 2 trains. If necessary, we can run 2 little TERs up and down here if we wanted to. So that would continuously make money. Because I like those trains. I do want to run those sorts of trains because it is French themed at the end of the day. And then Trévoux, Digne-les-Bains and Château-Thierry is probably going to be a TGV because that is the longest distance. It's also 3 stations to serve there, whereas every other track only has 2. But I think I'm going to end this episode right here, so that's it for now. Cheers for watching, guys. This has been Mr. Fatty Tomato. Be sure to subscribe to follow the series, and join me next time for more from Transport Fever here, and I'll play through with the French theme. See you later.